Here is the recap of the first season of Arcane. The story unfolds in two diametrically opposed worlds: the technologically advanced upper city of Piltover and the gloomy, frightening lower city of Zaun. Between these areas there are constant clashes over class inequality, and in another massacre a huge number of people are killed. In this massacre, two sisters Vi and Powder lose their parents and are taken in by Vander, who is roughly speaking the leader of the lower city. After a few years, the girls and two other guys, Milo and Clagger, form their own small gang and do small thievery to survive. They get a tip that there is a scientist in Piltover who has something valuable at home, and they go there. Powder finds strange glowing crystals and drops one of them, causing an explosion and collapsing part of the building. They are chased by peacekeepers, which is the name of the police, but the main characters manage to escape. However, they are met by Zaun bandits who want to take away the loot. Vi and the boys manage to fight them off, but Powder, frightened, throws the loot into the river, even though she keeps the stolen crystals. The main characters return to the bar, where they are scolded by Vander, who is already aware of the incident. He goes to his old friend Benzo, trying to find out who attacked the sisters, but then the peacekeepers come and demand that Vander give up the teenagers, as he should know who did it, but he refuses to give up his own. From this conversation we realize that Vander has made a pact with the peacekeepers in the past, which implies that Zaun does not get cocky and Piltover does not stick its nose in their business. And this pact has been broken. We also meet a boy named Echo who works for Benzo and also knows the main characters. The gang that attacked the protagonists and tried to take their loot actually works for the criminal genius Silco, who sent them to spy on the sisters, but they went too far. Silco wants to start a new revolution against Piltover. We learned that in the past they were friends with Vander and fought for Zaun independence, but Vander decided to stop the violence and made peace agreements with Piltover. The friends quarreled over this, almost killing each other, and years later Silco dreams of revenge against Vander. He and a scientist named Singe create a substance called shimmer, which can increase a person's strength several times, but also temporarily turns him into a monster and causes addiction. We also learn later on that shimmer can be used in other ways, such as an energy source or medicine. We are told about the very scientist whose house is blown up by the main characters. His name is JC, and as a child he and his mom are saved by a mysterious wizard. For the record, magicians in this universe are considered dangerous, and they don't appear for nothing. JC has been fascinated by magic throughout his life, and has been looking for a way to combine it with technology, and has been experimenting at home. His mentor Heimerdinger is against these experiments because they are dangerous, and the Piltover Council decides to destroy his research. However, Jace meets a scientist named Victor, and with the permission of Councilman Mel, they secretly continue their experiments. Eventually they manage to make a breakthrough and curb the magic contained in the crystals, causing the council to agree to use the technology everywhere. Meanwhile, Vi realizes that the peacekeepers won't let them go and wants to surrender to the authorities to save her sister and friends, but Vander won't let her do so and surrenders himself. However, a shimmer-enhanced Silco Man kills the peacekeepers and kidnaps Vander. Vi orders Powder to stay at home and sets out with her friends to free Vander. It turns out it was a trap, and the main characters locked themselves away from Silco's thugs while running away. Powder did not listen to her sister and went after her. She, using an unstable crystal, creates a bomb and blows up the building where both the bad and good characters were, causing Milo and Clagger to die. Vander, while protecting Vi from a bandit under the shimmer, is killed himself due to injuries. Vi meets her sister, blames her for the deaths of her friends and leaves the girl. However, having come to her senses, she tries to return, but is caught by the peacekeepers. Silco finds Powder and, feeling sorry for the child, takes her under his wing. A few years later, thanks to JC's developments, called Hextech, Piltover becomes an influential trading city, and his inventions are used everywhere. The most valuable is a portal that can move airships great distances in seconds. Jace becomes quite influential, but Heimerdinger still warns him not to rush into using his new developments, as they could be used as weapons. However, Victor, having an incurable disease, continues his experiments as he hopes to use the Hextech to cure himself. Silco, having bribed peacekeepers, has been transporting Shimmer to Piltover for several years. A new faction, calling themselves the Firelights, are trying their best to stop Silco's men from smuggling the stuff and are raiding airships to torch the bandits' goods. Powder, now called Jinx, joins Silco. He has become very attached to her and sees her as his daughter. Jinx wants to impress her boss and steals a new development from JC's lab, a stabilized magic crystal that can be used to power various unique mechanisms. She kills several peacekeepers, and they, despite being bribed by Silco, go to him to demand that he hand over the culprit. Silco refuses to do so, which makes the heads of the other factions consider him weak, but at the end of the season he kills the conspirators. By the way, Jinx is a little bit cuckoo because of everything that happened to her in her childhood, and she is obsessed with explosions. Jinx starts experimenting with the crystal, and she realizes how it works. We are introduced to another character named Caitlin, who is JC's childhood friend, and her mother is also on the Piltover Council. Caitlin is a peacekeeper and begins her independent investigation into the recent crystal theft and airship explosion by Firelights. She travels to the local prison where she accidentally runs into Vi, who has been imprisoned all this time. Vi informs Caitlin that she will help her with the investigation. She releases her, and together they go to Zon. The women find out that Silco is behind all the crimes and that Jinx is working for him. The sisters eventually meet, but are interrupted by Firelights, who kidnap Caitlin and Vi and manage to take the magic crystal from Jinx. It turns out the leader of the Firelights is Echo. This is the same boy who worked for Benzo in the past. He has gathered around him people who are not happy with Silco's criminal activities and has built a safe house where the people can live in peace. Echo learns that Caitlin and Vi are also fighting the villain, and together they decide to go to Piltover to tell the council about all Silco's plans. Jace is made a member of the Piltover Council for his achievements. He begins an affair with a councilman named Mel, who plans to use the Hextech as a weapon and manipulates JC's, though she does so with good intentions. JC's tasked with protecting the city from Zon, and after a while he brings up a vote to expel Heimerdinger from the council because he allowed this whole situation to happen without wanting to take more serious measures, such as using the Hextech as a weapon. Heimerdinger is expelled, he goes to Zon to help people, and at the end of the season he joins Echo and the Firelights. I should also note that the Firelights use their own kind of energy, which they apparently extract from bugs and power their devices with it. Meanwhile, Jace has to cooperate with the other counselors and participate in their corruption schemes in order to be able to continue his research. Victor, suffering even more from his illness, continues his research and accidentally drips blood on a mechanism he calls the Hex Core, causing it to seem to take on a mind of its own. Victor manages to adjust the mechanism to affect organics, but the effect is temporary. He goes to Zon to see his old friend Singed, the scientist who created the shimmer, who leads him to believe that by combining this substance and Piltover's technology, the Hex Core can be stabilized. After returning to the lab and combining these two components, he creates a semi-magical artificial leg, and after a while, trying to repeat this experiment on the rest of the body, accidentally kills his assistant. The guy wants to end his life, but Jace stops him. Vi, Echo and Caitlin cross the bridge leading to Piltover and are ambushed by peacekeepers bribed by Silco. However, the unstable Jinx detonates bombs on the bridge, killing all the peacekeepers and injuring the main characters. Caitlin and Vi go to Piltover while Echo fights Jinx. Eventually, during another explosion, Echo injures her leg and escapes, while the seriously injured Jinx is found by Silco. He takes her to Dr. Singed, and he uses a shimmer to put her back on her feet, causing her to become stronger and more unstable. I'd also like to mention that Silco has a right hand named Savika. Vi fights her a few times, and at the end of the season she wins, and we don't know what happened to her next. Mel's mother, who is the leader of another country, comes to Piltover, and we learn that she banished her daughter here in the past because the girl was too kind. Mel's mother also meets with JC and leads him to believe that he is being too soft on Zon. Her goals aren't very clear, but apparently she wants to get technology and weapons from Piltover. Caitlin and Vi make it to Piltover, but it turns out Jinx stole the crystal from them at the last minute. However, they convince Jace to use the Hextech as a weapon. He gives Vi a pair of power gloves and makes a special hammer for himself. Without telling the council, he and Vi attack the Shimmer factory, which is guarded by Silco's super soldiers. The main characters defeat everyone, but Jace accidentally kills a child working in this factory. Because of this, he realizes that it is dangerous to use such weapons and, meeting Silco, makes a truce with him. He promises to grant Zaun independence in exchange for banning the production of Shimmer and giving them Jinx. Powder learns of this agreement and kidnaps her boss. Knowing that Vi and Caitlyn are friends, Jinx gets jealous and kidnaps both of them. All of them, along with Silco, wake up tied up and Jinx tries to sort out her feelings. Caitlyn manages to get out and a fight ensues in which Jinx mortally wounds Silco. Before he dies, he informs her that he would never betray her. Jinx in a rage takes out a rocket launcher powered by the same magic crystal and fires it into the building where the council is voting to recognize Zaun as an independent city. This is the end of the first season. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.